Happening today, Governor Healey set to announce a major investment in public transportation with $30 million in state funding for year-round fare-free services at 13 regional transit authorities.
And with more, we turn things over to Western Mass's reporter Taylor Smith, who's live in studio this morning to tell us more about the funding and the impact that it'll have on residents. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning, David and Amanda. That's right. Governor Healey and local officials later today are set to reveal the details of this investment in public transportation that could reshape the commuting experience for everyone across Massachusetts. Now, this initiative is part of the 2025 fiscal year budget, which builds on two pilot programs focused on improving accessibility for all residents. Now, Governor Healey has 10 days to review and take action to either approve or veto the budget. And the new budget directs the highest levels of funding in 20 years in the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, or MBTA. It includes plans to double operational support and introduce a first-of-its-kind low-income fares program. Additionally, the budget authorizes $250 million for the Commonwealth Transportation Fund, unlocking an estimated $1.1 billion for crucial transportation projects such as upgrades to the MBTA's tracks. And now the completion dates for the initiative have not been detailed in the announcement. However, these types of programs typically aim for implementation within the fiscal year, which runs from July 1st of this year through June 30th of next year. And I'm reporting live in the studio this morning, Taylor Smith, Western Mass News.